So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Last Man on Earth, 1964. I'm giving it 1 out of 5 stars. This is my least favorite Vincent Price movie, which is saying a lot because The Mask of the Red Death I thought was okay, but this one is a real stinker in comparison to that one. Uh, Adrian mentions it quite a bit. I think he likes it, but this one doesn't. It never really really didn't. It didn't vibe with me. I'd be interested in seeing the Charlton Heston remake, the Mega Man. Now that might be better. I'm not sure. I've never seen it, but even the screenwriter hated this movie. Uh, he said the film was the most faithful adoption of his book, but he also called the result inept, and he used a pen name for his screenplay on the rolling credits in the beginning. You can see all that on the bonus features. He talks about that, and he even thought that Fritz Lang would direct the film. Lippert, the company that bought the rights from Hammer, they they were they told Matheson, the screenwriter and the author of the book, Richard Matheson, that Fritz Lang was going to direct, but then they ended up hiring. They ended up hiring Sidney Salkow, which was a downgrade. Matheson said, "Well, there's a bit of a drop." That's an understatement. Um, he wanted Harrison Ford and George Miller. He wanted Harrison Ford as the star and George Miller as the director. And there's a bunch of differences between the book and the movie. I'm not going to go down all of them, but I just want to talk about Matheson. He did not like this flick. He used a pen name. I forget what the pen name is, but it's not Matheson. um, yeah, so Hammer bought the rights to the book, and then Matheson wrote the script. In 1958, they announced that they would make it, but the British censors would not allow the film to be produced. Period. So the producers resold the script to Robert L. Lippert. I think Lippert did some Hammer collaborations where they had U.S. actors and British actors in the same movie for both companies. So, so the project was announced in August 1962. All right. That's all I have to say about the background. Now you know more than you would probably would care to know about this movie. So there's a virus going around. It turns people into vampires. Ends up killing Vincent Price's wife and daughter. And they're burning the bodies in a pit instead of burying people. So Vincent Price tries to stop them from doing that to his daughter, but you can't find her because all the trucks are the same. Nobody knows where the trucks are coming from. Typical government operation, right? So when his wife goes blind, apparently the sickness makes you go blind and you end up dying. The film doesn't really say how it's transmitted, but at the end you see Ruth, one of the freaks who's vaccinated. She ends up getting bitten by one of them, so maybe that's how they transmit it. I don't know. But it's got the garlic and the mirrors and the crosses on his door. He learned that trick from his friend Ben, who turned into a vampire. He's been surviving for 3 months, presumably because he got bit by a bat that had the virus and it made him immune. In Panama, when he was in Panama, he's a scientist in this movie. I think in the book he's a plant worker, and his name is different. So those are a couple differences from the book. There, I give you a couple bullet points. So Vincent Price comes across a dog, and he's chasing the dog all over the place. He's killing the vampires. During the day, he's sticking wooden stakes through their hearts. Then he runs into this dog. He thinks it's his key to happiness, this dog. It's really depressing and boring, this movie. I slept midway through. Same thing happened when I bought the VHS tape. And anyways. So he's hunting for this dog. He can't find it. Then the dog comes back. It's been infected with the vampire virus. So Vincent Price has no choice but to put a stake through his heart and bury the thing. While he's burying the dog, he meets Ruth, who's this vaccinated freak. She's not having symptoms while she's on the vaccine. So she's been sent to spy on him while the other vaccinated freaks in her group are going to come there and kill him for no apparent reason. I guess because they're scared of him or something. I don't know. So Vincent Price cures Ruth by doing a blood transfusion. And then they're going to be happy together, but the other freak group shows up. So Vincent Price really isn't the last man on Earth. There are a bunch of other men trying to hunt him down, but they're freaks, so they're not men. Therefore, he's the last man. True man. That's the only explanation I can think of for the title. But they come to his house. They start chasing him around. They throw a stake through his heart in the church, in the Catholic church. It's filmed in in a real Roman Catholic church. And they used Italy as the location to save money, I guess. Anyways, I'm hating this flick. 1 out of 5 stars all the way. I didn't like it 25 years ago. I still don't like it today. But I wanted to get the review in, so now Adrian knows anything and everything about this movie. Even my personal opinion, which doesn't mean much apparently, because when you go on IMDb, it gets a pretty high rating. It gets a 6.7 out of 10, 19,322 votes. And it's considered a classic in the genre of post-apocalyptic science fiction. The movie poster says, "Do you dare imagine what it would be to be last man on Earth or last woman?" Come on. Alive among the lifeless, alone among the crawling creatures of evil that make the night hideous with their inhuman cleaving. So these vampires are pretty weak and inept. They can't even break into Vincent Price's house. And what I don't understand is he's got the garlic and the mirror and the crosses on his door, but they're still like right up against it, like it doesn't even faze them. But the rocks and the boards aren't doing any damage to his house, really. You just hear a glass break, and that's it. But then when Ruth is hanging out at his house trying to spy on him, I think Vincent Price's co-worker, best friend, is able to break in the house all of a sudden. He figured it out. That part I didn't get. And then Ruth pulls a gun on Vincent Price at one point. And Vincent Price is like, "Go ahead, shoot me." And she throws away the gun. That part I didn't understand either. This is before the blood transfusion. Anyways, I guess I'll check out Karate Man's recommendation now. Not that I'm digging any of the beginning of CIA codename Alexa with O.J. Simpson and Lorenzo Lamas. There was one cool explosion. That was the only thing I liked about the beginning. But I'm going to try to slog through it and get it in. My 4th review today. I'm on a roll, man. I'm getting there. You got to give me credit. Even though Adrian and I disagree on this movie and Socialized Medicine. I'm still... you still got to give me credit for getting these reviews in timely. I'm doing a lot more that I have now that I have 3 days off and I'm only working one job. I don't know if my paycheck's going to suffer yet. I won't find out till Friday or a couple weeks from Friday when I get my first real full-time paycheck for 2 weeks at a time. I get bi-weekly pay now, not weekly pay. Not that it matters, but it just means my checking account balance is very low during the second week before I get paid. That's the situation next week. Unless I get the class action settlement check and or the bigger wage claim check. I don't know when that's coming, if it's ever coming. But Yeah. I think I'll call the lawyer on Monday just to find out what's going on with the class action settlement check. So I could use that definitely on Monday. If it hits the mail, I'll be happy. All right, so that's the end of my review. I'm saying don't check it out, skip it. Not recommended. Laters.